What's going on, boys and girls? My name is Michael SK and welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. So last time, Makina witnessed an explosion and she was mentally harmed by that because the explosion involved her little sister. And there was a bunch of other stuff regarding clans, and I can't really remember all too much in terms of detail, so sorry about that. But that was the last two episodes, the last session. And those last two episodes were uploaded a little, I don't know, a little later than I wish they were. It's because I had a lot to do over this last weekend. I've been a part of a charity stream. I haven't had the opportunity to really upload anything. I've either been streaming, doing something else, or sleeping. So there's that. Sorry for that and all that, but whatever. I don't know why I'm stating this now and in this video, but I'll just state it. I'm gonna try and get all the parts leading up to 200 out before the end of the year, and either get 200 out on the 30th of December or maybe on the 1st of January. I don't know. But the 31st, that's when I'm having like a year in review sort of deal. I don't know why I'm deciding to do that this year, but whatever. And then next year, if you guys watched my my update video on what's going to be happening with my playthroughs involving this one, all episodes of visual novels will be 30 minutes long. Which, yeah, it's cool and everything, but keep in mind I'm uploading once a day now. Or one video a day. Yeah, so there won't be as much Fruit of Grisaia content as there is now, if you piece it together, but I am going to give you guys longer episodes. So, just so you know, that's coming up. Let's get into the game, guys. I'm sorry about this very long intro.
Papa.
I just felt like I should say some things, and I'm just going to be bum rushing through as much as I can before the end of the year and getting all of this out as fast as I can. This will be my priority leading up to the end of the year. Oh, hey, Makina. What's up? Who was that? She was on the phone. I remember that part. I don't think we met Grandpa. Grandpa would be the former head of the Itasu family, eh? What did he have to say? Okay, I thought you were going to say something else there, but whatever. I see. In that case, let's head somewhere a little more private. And that's right, Michiru's here. Actually, hold on just one second. Mind if I ask you a quick question before we go, Makina? What does the word apus signify? I mean, she's laughing, right? Alright. Wow, she's absolutely lost her mind. I've been waiting for this moment to happen for a long time. Michiru seems to have botched a landing and twisted her ankle. The heat and fatigue have clearly done a number on that girl. She laughs hysterically, as though confusing pain with pleasure. Well now, what to do? For the moment, Makina and I surround the girl at a distance and poke at her with a stick. When fortunately enough, Sachi happens to pass by. After we explain the situation, she says simply leave it to me, and leaves the courtyard at a trot. Assuming the maid had run off to call an ambulance or something of the sort, we wait by Michiru's side offering encouraging words. This continues for about 15 minutes or so. At long last, Sachi returns in a pristine white maid uniform, cheerfully singing "Wee woo wee woo," and proceeds to nimbly snap together a folding aluminum stretcher. She changed clothes first? I'm certain we're all thinking it, but nobody dares to actually voice the words. In any case, Makina and I go with the flow, and I got a message and entrust Michiru to her new nurse's enthusiastic care. Then offer our brave colleague a deeply sincere salute as she's rolled off on the wheeled stretcher like a cylinder of propane on a cart. So, are you willing to tell me about that call?
パパには聞いてほしいのよさ。
Well, now that we're listening to the bad music, I don't think I want to hear anything. I'll listen. Oh.
はい、
Oh,
マキナ
okay.
です。
I guess, I was like, am I gonna have to talk for Makina here?
おう、マキナか。久しぶりだな。
Wait, you called Makina. Why would you say, oh, it's you, Makina?
はい、おじいちゃま、お久しぶりです。でも、どうして急に？
すまんがマキナ、もう少し大きな声で。私ももう年でな、耳がよう聞こえん。
Yeah, you don't sound that good, Gramps. The person on the other end of the line was Makina's grandfather. The call had been placed directly by Irisu, oh god, Haruchika, why not, the man who'd led the Irisu clan before his
お
retirement.
前ももう知っとるとは思うが、サリナが事故にあった。
Wow, maybe.
あれは事故なんかじゃないよ、おじいちゃま。
事故なんだよマキナ。あれは不幸な事故だ。わかるか？
わかりたくもないよ。
マキナよ、どうだ、そろそろ家に帰ってこんか。
今さらだよ、おじいちゃま。何を今さら言い出すんだよ。
Well, I know this is something that I shouldn't be pointing out in a time of crisis like this, but wow, Makina is speaking clearly. We can read what she's saying.
そう怒るな。私がお前の見舞いに行かなかったのにも、それなりの理由があってだな。
Oh, whatever. A faction within the branch house afraid of Makina's potential return must have deliberately prevented that information from reaching him. However, when a hefty check of 70 million yen was issued in Makina's name, an inquiry from the bank found its way directly to her grandfather. Only then did he learn Makina had been released some time before.
私は、お前が未だに廃人状態のまま、長期入院していると聞かされていたんだ。
Makina struggled to find an answer to her grandfather's question.
正隆君のことを、まだ気にしておるのか？あれは事故だったんだ。
What? The death of her own father was an accident? I hope that's like who Masataka is. Like, how can the death of her own father be an accident the way that it's currently being described? Her father, the person she loved more than anyone else in the world, was gone. All that was left there was her nasty, high-strung mother, her grandmother, who used to stare at her with the cold eyes of someone contemplating a broken toy. Her kind but willfully blind grandfather, utterly unreliable when push came to shove, and the servants who suffocated her spirit, justifying everything with the words, "I'm afraid these were my instructions." At a glance, that house offered everything a person could possibly want, but it was a hollow shell full of hollow people, a gilded prison. It was the sort of place where saying, "I want to learn how to ride a bike" would result in someone buying you a purebred horse you hadn't even asked for. What was there to miss about a home like that?
おじいちゃま、私はもうあの家には戻りたくない。
Damn, dude. They'd no doubt take good care of her if she returned, but only because they valued her as an asset or respected her position. Nobody there would even try to understand Makina herself. Some might say, "So what? Sounds like a pretty good deal," and maybe they wouldn't be wrong. Others might say, "You ran away from home, but you're still going to this school on your family's money, living completely freely. What right do you have to complain?" And she couldn't argue the point. But even so, just thinking about returning to that house made Makina's eyes fill with tears. Everything was precious to her. Everything she needed to be herself, her individuality and personality. All such inconvenient baggage would be ruthlessly thrown away. Money and power warp people beyond recognition. Makina knew that all too well. She was simply afraid of that
お
house.
前の気持ちはわかる。背負うものの大きさを考えれば誰もができる仕事ではなかろうし、それが恐ろしくもあろう。だがそれゆえにお前にしかできん仕事でもあるということだ。戻ってこい、マキナ。
Damn, he's getting angry.
おじいちゃま、マキナはもう昔のマキナじゃないのよさ。もう昔みたいにはなりたくないのよ。
Again with the perfect, clean, easy to listen to pronunciations.
マジでか。
マジだよ。おじいちゃま、ごめんね。もう嫌なの、耐えられないのよさ。
そうか。しかしそうは言っても誰も認めんだろうな。まあそうだな。すぐに戻れとは言わん。1年後の自分、
Talks too damn slow.
10年後の自分、そして30年後の自分がどうなっているかをよーく考えて、それからどうするか決めるといい。
多分おじいちゃまは、っていうか宗家の人たちは私のこと諦めてないと思う。
Well, it's not like they're gonna come in and kidnap her.
もしかしたら今回の爆破事件だって私を家に戻すために宗家の人たちが起こしたのかもしれない。
But if they'd screw up even slightly, you could have gotten blown away too.
もし事件を起こしたのが宗家の人たちなら、私があの場に居合わせたのは本当に想定外のことで、相当慌てたと思う。
I don't really follow all this business with the main family and branch family. At the end of the day, what are their objectives here?
結局のところ、これは宗家と分家のお家騒動なのよさ。宗家筋直系の私と分家の代表の妹、どっちが入り助を継ぐかの争いで、あの人たちの目的はお金と権力。
I'm not familiar with the exact details, but I understand the scale of the prize we're talking about here. The Idasu's family's long-standing assets extend to countless subsidiaries, both foreign and domestic. I hope I said that right. I don't think I did. But they're not just prominent in industrial manufacturing, financial, and retail, but also major players in iron and steel, shipbuilding, and even armaments. The money flowing through the Idasu apparently rivals the budget of a small country. A pencil made by the Idasu scratches down your name on the birth certificate in a government office. You eat food imported by the Idasu in your school cafeteria as you grow. In time, you find employment in an enterprise under the Idasu umbrella. When you grow sick, you're taken to an Idasu hospital, and when you die, you rest under a gravestone manufactured by the Idasu. If you're born in Japan, it's all but impossible not to interact with the family in some way. But despite this astonishingly wide influence, the name Idasu itself will probably get you a blank stare as often as not. The brands and their conglomerate, whatever, include many household names. But the parent company itself is fairly obscure. They say those with real power don't tend to advertise it, like the old nobility hidden up above the clouds. And Idasu Makina, who stands to inherit the seat at the very top of this lofty house, is still in her teens, practically a child. Who could blame the girl if she panicked in the face of that burden, if she ran away and tried to hide? Your grandfather said you don't have to come back immediately, didn't he? In that case, seems to me you should start by mulling this over. First of all, whether you're going to return to your family or not. And once that's settled, figure out what you're going to do when you return, or what you're going to do when you refuse. What you really want to do from now on. Your grandpa gave you the chance to deliberate about this, right?
そうだけど、でもおじいちゃまだっていつまでも待っていてくれるわけじゃないと思うのよ。
I know he'll be dead tomorrow. Not a problem. I'll give you as much time as you need.
どうやって？
That depends on how they want to play it. I haven't settled on any specific plans yet, but I'm ready to do anything I need to.
なんても？
We're gonna fuck bitches up? That's right. Don't you remember? I made you a promise, Makina. Even if everyone else in the world became your enemy, I'd protect you. Those words weren't just for show. I really will do whatever I possibly can. You don't need to worry about a thing. Just go about your normal life, exactly as you have.
でも
Don't worry. You've given me a fair compensation for my services. There's nothing to feel guilty about. You're important enough to me that I was willing to make that promise. Hell, at this point you've become my purpose in life. I'm living for your sake, and I'll die for your sake. I've been prepared for that from the start. In conclusion, there's no problem here. I'll kick the crap out of every last jackass stupid enough to harass you. You just sit back and see what a man's... God damn it. You just sit back and see what a man who's found something to protect can do.
いいの？それでいいの？
I'm your father, remember? Showing off in front of our kids like this is what we do. There's nothing a father doesn't know. No problem he can't overcome. In other words, relax and think this over carefully. Whatever your choice, I'll accept it absolutely, and support you with everything I've got.
Papa!
Daughter. Overcome with emotion, even beginning to sob a little, Makina ducks her upper body low to the ground and rushes forward. A split second later, her forehead smacks into my solar plexus with a solid thunk. Ugh! To be perfectly honest, the impact's so sharp it's difficult to even breathe properly. But sinking to my knees here would hardly help me keep the girl's hard-won trust. With an extremely strained attempt at a smile, I grab hold of Makina's fuzzy little head and squeeze her tightly against my chest. Strongly, very strongly, in the protective bear hug of a reliable parent. After that day, I've attempted to stay close by Makina's side as much as possible. I sincerely doubt there'd be many idiots reckless enough to try and pull anything inside this school, essentially a stronghold of the Sakaki family, but preparing for that long shot what if is my job. Fortunately, I've been trained in guarding someone without even allowing them to realize they're being protected. The only real problem is night. Without a doubt, human beings are most defenseless when they're sleeping. It's the ideal timing for a raid or kidnapping attempt. I was like, what the fuck is this music? But it's just the normal music. And even I'm not capable of staying awake constantly to protect the girl as she sleeps. As the single simplest countermeasure, it would be ideal if I could arrange to spend my nights with Makina, but... Wait!
今日からパパの部屋でパパと一緒に寝てもいいかな？
But she was gone! She's not supposed to be here, unless she came back and it was just never announced. She's not supposed to be here. Unless we advanced a few days. Caught off guard by this admittedly rather abrupt inquiry, Amine stares intently down into Makina's face for a long moment, then turns her laser-like gaze on me. Makina's expression is unusually serious, with no hint of the standard messing around. And although this would usually be the part where I deliver a karate chop to that well-positioned head of hers, I simply stand quietly behind the girl without raising any objection. Apparently, Amine senses something strange in the air. She lets out a long, soft sigh, then nods deeply to herself.
Makina, あんた自分が何を言っているかちゃんと分かってる？あんたが決めたのなら私は何も言わない。でも一度決めたのならちゃんと最後まで頑張るのよ。 怖かったり痛かったりしても途中でやめてって言っちゃダメよ。永遠に続く夜なんてない。必ず朝は来るから頑張るのよ。
That can be taken out of context.
うん、頑張るけど。
ユージもマキナが痛がってたり苦しんでたりしたら自分の都合ばっかりじゃなくマキナのこともちゃんと考えてあげなきゃダメよ。
I must have like the filthiest mind ever, but I feel like all of this that she's saying can be taken out of context. Well, yeah, that's the plan.
それとちゃんと否認はするのよ。
God damn it!
コンドーム持ってる？
Okay, Amine, let me return that question from a moment ago. Do you have any idea what you're saying?
え？
What doesn't cut it, woman. Although it seems there may have been a slight discrepancy in our understanding of the situation, it was agreed that Makina would spend her nights in my room. Regrettably, my room only has one bed, and it's a single. It wouldn't be so bad to huddle together for warmth in the winter, but at this time of the year, the idea is not particularly appealing. Yielding the bed to Makina, I spread out a mat and sleeping bag on the floor for myself.
一緒に寝てはくれないのに。
Well, no, it's like hot as fuck outside. I wish it was hot now. Like, I hate the winter, guys. It's winter right now. I have like 3 layers of sweaters or shirts or whatever, and I'm just suffering. A little hot for that, don't you think? At my old school, 10 at night was lights out time, and by 11 they'd cut the electricity to the dorm off entirely. Even the air conditioners went dead. In other words, I'm fairly accustomed to sleeping under hot and stuffy conditions, but there's hardly any need to go out of my way to recreate the experience. And also, if by any chance someone really did attack, we'd be better off sleeping in different points in the room. Attack Team A probably leads off by knocking at the door. Just as I'm getting up to reach for the knob, they blast the lock. I don't know what I'm saying. They blast the lock, upper and lower hinges with simultaneous shotgun fire. As I flinch backward reflexively, Team B crashes in through the window on the opposite side of the room and pincers us both. Doubt I'd be able to hold them off for even 3 minutes. Compared to me and Makina huddling together in one bed where we can easily be encircled, dispersing ourselves on the bed and floor expands the area that has to be targeted, giving us more options. Alright, time to sleep. Get in bed. Go to bed. Mumbling her approval listlessly, Makina turns around to face away from me, then abruptly begins pulling off her clothes on the spot. Oh, lovely. After stripping down to her underpants, she takes a big t-shirt gone all loose in the collar, presumably a hand-me-down from Amine, and pulls it over her head as a sleepwear. Might be a t-shirt to Amine, but on Makina, it's a one-piece dress. That was a scary noise. Resisting a sudden urge to smile, I open my window and drape the towel I used after my shower outside to dry. I carefully position the towel just low enough to hide the bed Makina's crawled into almost completely, and deliberately leave the curtains open. For anyone out there interested in observing this room, this strip of fabric will present a simple hindrance. If the bath towel's position shifts even slightly overnight, it would suggest the existence of someone looking inside. The degree and direction of the movement could even help determine the point from which they're observing us. Basic tricks like this won't often accomplish much against a professional, but a multitude of small insurance policies is the best way to keep things safe and quiet. Damn, Yuji, you sure are the best. I'm turning off the lights.